Good evening. Welcome to the Committee of the Whole, which precedes the stated meeting of Tuesday, December 10th, 2013. I'd like to acknowledge former Councilwoman Joan Gronowski, and she served ably in the 3rd District.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. Good evening, council members. I'm here tonight to address 2 issues actually on the agenda. The first one being the School 19 property, and then the second item on the agenda, which is the termination agreement for SFC. I know there were some RFPs issued for the Jackson Street School 19 project, with the developer looking to seek market rate housing at that site, as well as a local community group who's looking to advocate for a community center at that location. I've been on the City Council for 4 brief years, but I've seen a pattern in this city of wringing hands and fretting that if we don't give the developer du jour the property they're interested in now, all will be lost. I never understood that rationale, because it means we really didn't have much pride in or hope in the properties we were offering to begin with, and I never believed in that, and it usually hasn't been the case. To me, if a developer wants the property, it's because it's in their best interest to acquire the property. This particular site has languished for years. We gave our most prized property, the riverfront in downtown, to developers who started out as SFC and ended up as just an F by the time their project was approved. They were given the benefit of the doubt. Can you not do the same thing for the community group to obtain the necessary funding to see their project materialize? Are they reaching for the stars? Maybe. Have they overreached? Maybe. But I hope you give them the benefit of the doubt that to try and get their financial house in order, the same courtesy afforded to the developers of the downtown who have still yet to build anything.
Good evening. My name is Juanita Lewis with Community Voices Heard, but I'm actually going to be speaking in support of the School 19 project. And this is an opportunity where community members have been telling you what they need, have a plan of what they want to see happen in their neighborhoods, and has been well thought out, has been talked about, has been advocated for. People packed the rooms last week, right? I'm sure you saw hundreds of people in here last week saying in support that people should be supportive of this project, and urging you to give someone from the neighborhood, one of your own, right, an opportunity to actually make their city better and their neighborhood better.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Leo Medina, and I grew up here in Yonkers, roughly 6 blocks away from School 19, and you know, my family struggled hard to kind of get out of that neighborhood, because they felt that growing up that's the only way for me to get anywhere, was just to really move out of neighborhoods like that. So we did. I'm still living in Yonkers, you know, going to school and everything. But who would have known that about 6 months ago, when I replied to a random Craigslist post about an intern into a random organization doing something like social media, who would have known that 6 months later I would be here speaking right in front of you guys, telling you that this is what the community needs. You know, the community needs, you know, for leaders to be brought out of, you know, this kind of places, that it doesn't have to be, like, you don't have to leave neighborhoods like that to really get somewhere. You know, the idea is to really empower those neighborhoods, to give people like Lamont the power to really give the youth. There are ways to empower the community, and there are ways to give people a say. You know, there are ways to give youth, you know, a future. You know, there are ways to give youth a hope in places that, you know, sometimes it doesn't seem like it.
Everybody talked about the merit of the project, which it is, and for you all to ignore it, well, for someone like myself from the outside, it's quite offensive. However, where I do see some opportunities for Yonkers, considering the school-to-prison pipeline, the gang violence, the poor education that young people are facing, the lack of opportunity, the lack of work preparation and job preparedness for young folks, so that you could have more productive young people living in Yonkers and build the city really for everyone. It is in your interest to consider the School 19 project, not even just to consider it, but to vote it. But on my end, on the fundraising side, the organizing, the way Lamont has galvanized the community is what foundations are looking for. This is the kind of project that they want to sink their teeth into. I've spoken to several, like, the money will come. Their biggest question was, do they have the building? We cannot consider the proposal without the space. So y'all are preventing money from coming into your community and giving you an opportunity to look and appear as though there is a serious care and love for the residents of Yonkers.
Hello, good evening. My name is Roger Drew, and if you can see my shirt, you know why I'm here. It says Free School 19. So I just want to thank everyone here, the council members, for hearing us all tonight. I want to respect all the elders who spoke before me, particularly Reverend Emma Lofton Woods, Ms. Gail Baxter, all the people who were here supporting, we're standing on their shoulders. I also want to respect the youth who inspired everyone here tonight, and I think that is what you can expect if you let this plan go forward. You can expect more people, teenagers coming up and speaking at City Council. You know, I think that's a beautiful thing. I want to touch on a few things. Most important, this is not a done deal. That's the most important thing. This is not a done deal, and everyone in here has the power to decide this vote tonight. The mayor doesn't decide this vote. The council does. Secondly, the money will come. You heard a professional fundraiser come up and say, if they have the building, the money will come. You can't fundraise I can't fundraise if I don't have where the project is supposed to be. The money will come. This has been, how many years has this been vacant? 91, 22 years? Is 22 the cutoff? 23 is impossible? Give them one more year. Give them the year. Give us the year to raise the money. Let's respond to the union comments real quick. You know, working men and women. We're all in support of working men and women, yet this project has no mandate for local hiring. So how will it help local men and women? It has 0 affordable units. Where will the local working men and women live? This is what we're deciding between: a community project that will benefit the community or something that has no benefits for the community.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aisha Badru. I'm 21 years old, and for 21 years, I've been living in the community where School 19 is. And growing up, I had the fortunate opportunity to have exposure to outside resources outside of my community. And today, I'm a college student, I'm a musician, I'm a writer, and I just know that people who come from the neighborhood where I'm from, they don't have the same opportunities that I had. So I just feel like having School 19 turned into a multi-use facility is important because they need those resources that they don't have access to.
I think that this center will be a great addition to my community because in my community we really don't have much. We don't have a lot. Our park that's by our house is broken down, so it's pretty much like we have nothing to do. So that apartment is not going to help benefit nobody, not really. It's not going to benefit me, and I don't think it's going to benefit anybody else that lives where I live, because I think that I think everybody agrees with me when I say that it's not useful. And I heard a lot of people say that, and I agree too. And I was sitting there just thinking, and that apartment's not going to help me in the future. That apartment's not going to help me go to college. That apartment's not going to help me get a job. That apartment's not going to do anything for me. It's going to sit there.
There are young people sitting in this audience. There are many young people that are not here, that do not have a voice. But we are adults. We are the now. They are those that are coming behind us. I was on McLean Avenue recently. They have a beautiful a cultural center, Irish Cultural Center. The Portuguese in back of me, I live at 300 North Broadway, have a lovely center. The Ukrainians have a lovely center. The Neperhan Community Center is north, not southwest. And I reminded you all last week, there are issues going on in our city right now. Southwest against Northwest. One group of children can't cross the line to come to another, to the north side. Do we need our children struck down in the street because they want to go and socialize in different areas because there's nothing in their area for them?
Good evening. My name is Paula Crawford, and I was before you on last week, and I'm coming to speak to you on behalf of the PS19 project. A couple of things was running through my mind as I was sitting there, and the councilwoman brought up some very good points, and I had also mentioned one of them regarding the SFC project, where you guys allowed them, or you gave them, an open door to develop property that has still remained undeveloped, and you gave them unlimited time to do so, and now it's on the agenda to terminate that contract because they fell through on the agreement. We have a gentleman here who's from this community, raised in this community, went to school, came back to his community to see what he could do. PS19 has been lying desolate for years. This young man said, you know what, I think I can do something with this. He went out, did his homework to see what he needed to have done, and brought it before the city and said, this is what I can do. To me, it would be a shame and a disgrace. And what message are we sending our young people that go to school and want to come back and do something in their community just to be told, you can't, because we rather have some multi-billion-dollar developer do something?
Good evening. My name is Mark Corpus. I'm a Yonkers resident. And I just have questions. I don't understand why we're even here talking about a cultural center for the youth, when it was stated that there's cultural centers on the Irish Cultural Center, the Ukrainian Cultural Center, and it seems like everybody's satisfied with the headlines that they hear on the South Side, which is gang violence, robberies, shootings. But when you talk about something positive, you don't want to hear that. Now, the city council was based on the premise that you were going to represent the city. Now you're allowing someone from somewhere else, I don't even know where Alma Realty's from, to come over here and try to profit off the city.
Why this project can't be supported at this time is because Community Governance and Development Council, as a nonprofit organization, does not have $10 million in the bank to facilitate this construction. What nonprofit organization in Yonkers has $10 million in the bank to complete a construction before being given the opportunity to go out and raise the money? You've heard from a professional fundraiser who is an extreme supporter of School 19, who has worked for foundations in New York City that have given millions of dollars to projects just like this. And she's on our project management team, and she's going out to get the money for us, but we can't raise the money for the project unless we have control of the site. We're not asking to buy the property straight off. We're asking for the option for the property. Give us a reasonable amount of time. And if you want to have benchmarks, if we can't raise this amount of money in this amount of time, the property goes back to the city, and Alma or anybody else can develop it, because like Roger said, what is there, a 22-year limit? The property will be there after a year. And if Alma won't develop it, someone else will develop it. Right? But this is a historical moment. How often do you see the community of Southwest Yonkers coming out and galvanizing around the project? This is very rare, because you've heard the community speak, and I have faith that you guys will vote no, because this is a very historical moment for Yonkers. You'll vote no and you'll go home tonight, you'll be in your bed, and you'll just be absorbing the energy, you'll be absorbing what went on, and you'll think in your head, what did I just do? And then you'll hear a voice in your head, and you know what it will say? You did the right thing. Thank you.
Okay, today is Tuesday, December 10th, 2013, and this is the regularly stated meeting of the City Council. I'd ask the clerk to once again call the roll.
Mr. President, minutes of the stated meeting held on November 26, 2013, approved on motion of Majority Leader Wilson Torello.
Item number 2 and item number 5, we're going to talk first about the CEQA related to the sale of 70 Jackson Street, School 19, and then the local law. Again, this went through real estate, so I defer to the Majority Leader and Chairman of the Real Estate Committee, Mr. Wilson Torello.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. This is the project that our visitors today has been talking about. This is going to be a sale of $650,000 price, which it has to be due by 60 days after the contract of sale is signed. This is going to be a almost $10 million project, and this is where the Alma Realty has proposed to the city.
Thank you very much. Discussion on the matter, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Council President. First, I'd have to just make a friendly amendment to the Majority Leader's statement. Those who came out this evening are not visitors. They are residents of our city, and they've come and they voiced their opinion, and I'll thank you for that. Second, not much to say. I think people from the community spoke and said all that they had to say. You know, giving an opportunity to people from the community, people who we represent, is what we are represented to do. And with that said, I look forward to representing the people that came out this evening, the people that live in and around the project, and I will be voting no in giving this property to Alma. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Sabatino.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. President. You know, earlier it was mentioned, you know, about working families and people needing jobs. And, you know, one of the things that disturbs me about this project is that there is no affordable housing in the project. But aside from that, many of the people here are my constituents. I was elected to represent them, and they have spoken very clearly about how they feel about this. They want a chance. They're willing to work with some goals and some time frames, and I cannot support the purchase by Alma at this point.
Thank you, Councilmember Sabatino. I will say that last week I was very open-minded about this. In a normal situation, when you have an adaptive reuse of an old building and you have a reputable company like Alma coming in and building quality housing, I would be supportive of it. However, after listening to all the comments, both last week and this week, and giving the administration an opportunity to come to the table with something different, something better, some changes, some accommodation, and then hearing the comments once again and being inspired by the youth and inspired by the moment, I too will be voting no on this project. Any other comments, or do we just have a roll call? Roll call.
Council President Lesnick.
No.
Minority Leader Larkin.
Yes.
Councilmember Breen.
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd.
Yes.
Councilmember Sabatino.
No.
Majority Leader Terrell.
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson.
No.
Adopted 4-3.